Good morning. It is Saturday, July 16th. I got up this morning and the first thing I did was I ran out to do a couple of errands. Got an oil change and I bought gas while it was less than $4 a gallon. That took longer than I would have liked, but they were things I needed to do to take care of and continue driving my car. Now I am back home and I need to start getting ready for the day. Some clean clothes, shave, things that I was like, I'll do that after these errands. But then today, I'm not really sure what my plans are. I know I gotta pay bills, which is part of why I wanted to go get that done today, so that as I balance the budget, I have those expenses included. And then I need to build a Dwarven Forge setup for next weekend. So that'll be fun. And so my first step for coming up with what sort of build I'm gonna make with Dwarven Forge is to pull out some possible creatures for the environment, just to try and figure out what the combat is. So I'll look through the books, make a decision, and then I kind of have an idea of what I'm building for, I guess. And now beginning the actual build, I laid out a bunch of terrain trays. I think I'm going to actually take some out, because I think after laying out what pieces of solid land I have, without using cliffs, because I don't want cliffs in this environment, I have just over 1 foot by 2 foot. So I only have 2 of these swamp mats. So if I do a 3 by 3, I will have 2 feet that have to be covered with solid land. I have just enough for that. So, and then I'll have banks and little islands and things in between. And so, utilizing the land that I have and the banks, I've kind of put together the main land environments, and then I got some other little, what can be island pieces that I can scatter around and such as needed, but just starting to put things together, yeah. And that's about as far as I'm going to get for right now. I got a couple just points of interest. I got, of course, the combat area, and then an objective that will be in there that they have to do that slows them down to make it where they can't just run from the combat. But for the objective, I need some string. So I took some string. Oh, it's almost dry already. I've kind of used a bit of tea and some wash and just dyed it enough where it's not clean white. And so I'll use that. But I got a message from my buddies, and I'm, sitting around thinking, I gotta figure out something to do for food, because I haven't eaten. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, I haven't had breakfast yet. So I'm thinking about that, and then I got a message, hey, Pat's available today. Wanna go out to eat? I was like, perfect. So, and predictably, Pat wanted to go to Gingham's. Hanging out with friends and with Western Burger.
He says when
so you got breakfast but managed to turn it into dessert?
And I did that because I have an entire other meal at home for the actual filling part. Because I got the extra yesterday.
Oh yeah, because they messed up your food and you just got more. And that was fun, getting to hang out with folks, see Pat, meet Pat's daughter. That's cool. Also just a bit bigger group than generally we get on a Friday, by going out in the middle of a Saturday. Like, hey, I'd finished most of the swamp build, so might as well, right? Those are gassed tomatoes. They're gonna have a white core. I came in for a couple minutes to hang out. We're now an hour or so in. Bob is critiquing other people's cooking online because It's
so
entertaining.
great.
I ended up spending a lot more of my day on this than I anticipated, but it's entertaining.
I mean, I've used gassed tomatoes before. They just don't taste of anything. Yeah, see how?
Yeah, those look pretty bland.
Yeah, see how they're white?
Yeah.
They have the white lines. That means that they were almost ripened and then filled with a gas to stop them from ripening, to preserve them for longer, and incidentally kill all the flavor.
Yeah, that is a look of tomato that I associate with no flavor. I didn't know what caused it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's if you see the tomatoes with those white rings, it means they were gassed.
So yeah, that was like 3 hours of just hanging out, but I went in to hang out a little bit with Nick, and Bob had gotten home from work, so he was there now too. And so yeah, we just hung out, we talked, and we watched Korean kitchen videos. But yeah, it's fun. Fun to just do a little social on a day that otherwise, like this morning was very... I show a few clips from making that map, but that map took 3 or 4 hours between doing all this stuff with that, because it's a lot of just moving things around and figuring out what works. And of course I'm like listening to music and all that, and looking things up for notes, for inspiration along the themes of the game and such all along there as I go, but yeah. And one good thing about how long I was out, now that I'm home, the string that I had sort of lightly dyed is dry, so I can add that as needed to the build. And when I was looking at the string, I was like a little disappointed that it didn't stain any darker than it did. However, now having it on the battlefield, I think it stands out well enough that it probably works out pretty good, because it's, you know, it's a interaction point. It's a plot point that they need to pay attention to. And so having it just sort of stand out a bit, I think might help with them figuring out, oh, let's do something with this. So, but otherwise, yeah. I think I basically, you know, I'm obviously going to have to take down the taller trees and such so that the table can go over top. But, and prep the actual fog machine. But other than that, you know, kind of ready for next weekend. So, even though I spend a huge amount of time between going to dinner, hanging out with friends there, and then hanging out with Bob and Nick afterwards, I still got the car stuff done this morning, got the bills stuff that I needed to get done for the day done, and the map. So kind of, I think all the stuff that was the needs section of my day, at least. Would have been nice to film some video, although I don't have an easy video to film. It would be like a discussion kind of thing, but I mean, I need to figure some of those out, but is what it is. And I got everything covered up under the tabletop. So now, for the next week, it'll just be hiding under there, ready for next Saturday's game. Working as a normal table. I love having the vaulted gaming table for things just like that. I got to prepare for next weekend, even though on Monday, Bob will be here and run his game. He doesn't have to use the vault because he doesn't prepare anything because he's not here in advance. So it's fine. But yeah, so I got to have it all prepared in advance, ready to go, while I had, you know, plenty of time to really, I just take my time on it, play around, research and stuff while building. It was fun. And then fun with friends, getting to meet Pat's daughter, hang out with other friends, hear Bob fuss at how other kitchens cook things. It's a fun day. Not an incredibly productive day, but a fun day. And I'm allowed those occasionally. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining me, and joining me as my journey continues.